Well, that took about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to fill it up. So I'm going to shut it off, drain it out again, and see if anything comes with it.
Hey Brad, what are you doing over there?
Just in the process of turning off the hot water tank. I've got to let it cool down a little bit before I pull the drain plug. Don't want to burn myself. It can get pretty hot. Should give it about 15-20 minutes. Hopefully it should be cooled down enough that I can pull the drain plug without getting scalded. Okay, well, here we are outside. I've got the hot water tank opened up, and I'm going to bleed off the pressure valve. But before I do that, I want to take a look at the plug here down at the bottom. And there's a little bit of moisture down there. Like I say, this plug here is 18 months old, and it's to be expected to be leaking a little bit. I will be changing it out completely, putting a brand new one in there, but there's nothing wrong with this plug, I don't think. So I will keep it as a spare, although I've got probably 8 or 10 spares as it is, but it's always good to have extras. So I'll just bleed off the water with the pressure relief valve here, and while I'm doing that, I've got to shut off the spigot here so there is no more water going into the tank making more fresh hot water. And I have just shut off the heater inside the trailer, so there won't be any more hot water being made, and anything in there will cool down probably about 20 minutes or so. I'll be able to pull the valve, or pull the drain plug, and it'll probably get down to like a warm water or a semi-hot water. It's not going to be scalding water, so that's always a good thing. You just have to be careful. If you pull the drain plug too soon, it's a definite possibility you're going to burn your hands, unless you're wearing thick gloves and your reflexes are really good. Okay, well, I'm just about to drain the tank, and this is one thing that I bought when we first bought the trailer, thinking that I would need it, and this is the first time I'm ever going to use it, and it's been 5 years in a month and a half that we've owned this trailer. So this is just for flushing out the tank. We can use it for filling whatever else we need, but yeah, it's just for getting into this small spaces that you can't put the nozzle of a hose in. So I will prepare to dump the tank, and hopefully it all turns out okay. I'll let you watch. And it's a 23mm socket is what I'm using. It's going to start gushing out of here pretty quick, and it's going to be a little bit on the warm side. Actually, it's not too bad. I turned the power off about half an hour ago, 20 minutes ago, and it's not boiling hot right now. So we're good. The plug is in very good shape, as you can see. I have a little bit of the pipe thread on there, and I'll keep this one, but I'm going to put a brand new one on anyways. So once this dumps, or completely finishes off emptying, I'll give it a rinse, and then we'll go from there. Okay, here we are again. So with this thing here, it is a bit of a restricted flow. So it's not a heavy, high pressure hose. So I'm just gonna put that in there and then just see how she works. I thought it was going to fit inside the valve or inside the tank all the way, but not quite. And I don't want to force it because it's very close, but if I force it, then we might have a bigger issue. I didn't see anything coming out of the tank when I drained it. It was all just clear hot water. I was thinking there might be a little bit of sediment buildup. It doesn't look like much, but I'll just wait till it fills up and then wait till it comes out of the pressure relief valve, because that's right at the top of the tank. And I'll show you in a minute. Well, that took about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes to fill it up. So I'm going to shut it off, drain it out again, and see if anything comes with it. There's a little bit of the plumber's tape that I've got. That's good to get rid of that. But that wasn't inside the tank. That was still attached to the outside dump valve here. So close that up. Oh, I'll keep that open so it can drain. Air has to go in before the water can come out. Thus the pressure relief valve. Yeah, I think the only issue we have is no issue at all. But it's good to check this once in a while. I haven't completely dumped and rinsed the tank in, like I say, 1.5 years since I put that other plug in. But now that this is done, I'm happy that everything's going to work out. And I'll put the new plug in. And c'est voila. Here it is here, with the plumber's tape on it. And this is what I use, just a little bit of plumber's tape. Comes in red or blue or whatever color casing. It's just a white tape. The yellow tape I use for the propane. The white I use for water. Fairly basic. Anyways. So, to put that back in, see if I can thread it this way. It's a fairly deep socket, so I don't know if I can thread it. No, looks like I've got to get in there with just my fingertips, which isn't too bad since there's nothing too hot right now and I don't have to worry about burning myself. Just getting the first thread started. There we go. Tighten it in by hand a little bit. Throw the ratchet on. Make sure you don't want to do this too tight. There's about 2.5 full turns when I released, or when I undid the last plug. So that's a couple turns. It's nice and tight there. So I will shut off the pressure relief valve, turn the water back on, and it should start cycling up. And we should be back in business shortly. Turn the water back on, and it filled up in probably about 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes. I went and did something else, and I heard that bubbling, so I know we're full. So everything's back to normal here. Check for any dust bunnies and such. Everything looks good, so I can close it all up. And that's all done. So this is the bag of plugs that I got. Like I said, I got them on Amazon, from US Amazon, not Canadian, for about $7 for a dozen. In Canada, if you want to buy these plugs, I think the only alternative you have is to buy the nylon ones, and they're like roughly $5 to $7 a pop, which is just insane. So this is my other thing that I used to do. I have this here. It's a brass plug with a bleeder valve on it. I used to use this inside the tank. I stopped using it because brass, but the technical way to put it is brass is a more noble metal than the aluminum tank, and the tank will sacrifice itself to save the plug, being brass. That's not what you should have. You should have nylon or plastic for the plug. So if you're going to have a blowout, the weak spot is the plug, not the tank. So that will save you $600 or $800 by not using the brass one. Use plastic or nylon only for the drain plugs. And one other thing that I'll point out, I'll put a link down below for those plugs that I got off of Amazon. And a bag of a dozen, it's lasted me, well, quite a few years now. I was changing them out with the nylon, cheap nylon ones. I was changing them out anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months. Like I said, this last one that I had from the Amazon pack lasted 18 months. And no issues at all, so they are awesome. Now that I'm back inside, one thing I forgot to tell you, it's very important. Absolutely imperative you do this. Turn the hot water back on. Yeah, it's something simple, but little things like that get overlooked all the time. And it could save a lot of headaches in 45 minutes or an hour when somebody wants to have a shower, or somebody wants to do the dishes, or you need a little bit of hot water. So that's all I wanted to talk with you this week about. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for notifications.